Hi, kiddos and people. So today we are going to be learning about forces and Newton's laws. So, according to Mr. Newton, every body persists in its state of being at rest or of moving uniformly, straightforward, except insofar as it is compelled to change its state by force impressed. Sir Isaac Newton. So, who is Sir Isaac Newton? So, these laws are called Newton's laws because they were made by Isaac Newton. And I'll tell you guys a story about him after this. So, what does this mean in your own words? So, basically, it kind of means like, unless an unbalanced force acts on an object, it either stays at rest or keeps going in motion. So, for example, if you're driving a car and then there's a brick wall in front of you, you keep driving the car's in motion until it stops, right? Where does it stop? Right here, as it says, at the unbalanced force. And the object is the car. So that's the first law. So we also say it as object in motion stay in motion, and object at rest stay at rest unless acted upon by an outside force. So this pyramid of Giza, it's gonna stay there without moving, right? Well, unless probably if like a bulldozer came and ran it over. Well, that would be the unbalanced force, the bulldozer, but it won't move from here. This astronomer, so he's in outer space, right? But like he's not gonna move because he's in outer space and there's barely any gravity, unless he's like tied onto the ship. See right here, this block, it's not gonna move because there's nothing acting on it. Well, now there is the cyclist. He's going from right to left, right? So while he's going, he's gonna hit this, and then the bike is gonna stop. But his body is gonna want to keep going because of inertia. And that's Newton's first law, also called the law of inertia. So about Galileo Galilei, he's the person that found this first. He calls it inertia, and basically inertia is an object's resistance to changing its motion. And what Galileo Galilei wrote is a body moving on a level surface will continue in the same direction at constant speed unless disturbed. But sure, Newton stated it more thoroughly that he didn't call me like the father of modern physics for nothing. So is the second law of motion. So the second law of motion is we use it as a formula. The formula we use is F equals ma or A equals Fm. And the A, it's obviously stands for acceleration, F is for force, M is mass. Some people write it as A equals F over M, and most people usually write it as F equals ma. So see here, see this wagon? It has it has little amount of mass on here as it is compared to here. So here it would be easier to pull than it is on here because the force is greater. See, the acceleration is going to be faster, and here's much slower. So for Newton's third law of motion, it is for every action there's equal and opposite reaction. What it means is like these bricks, they're acting down on the grass, right? So if there was no grass, it would probably just keep going all the way down, 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 down until the core of the earth. But because there's grass, it won't move. Well, it's gonna move, but like not as much if there wasn't any grass. So the grass is pushing up. At the same time, the bricks are pushing down on the grass. See? It's going down. The block's weight pushes on the ground, but the ground pushes back up on the block. Also, during cannons, during wars or something, whenever you shoot like a cannon, the force coming out of the cannonball is forcing the cannon to go back, and that's Newton's third law. As it says here, the cannon exerts a force on the cannonball, and the cannonball exerts an equal and opposite force on the cannon. So here's a concept review. Number 1. Blank is an object's resistance to changing its motion. If you said inertia, then you're correct. Applying an unbalanced blank to an object causes it to blank. Applying an unbalanced force to an object causes it to accelerate. So, number 3. Based on Newton's first law, if no forces are acting on an object, its blank will not change. Its velocity will not change. From Newton's second law, an object's acceleration depends on an object's blank and the strength of the blank blank acting on it. So the first blank depends on the object mass and the strength of the unbalanced force. This one you guys can get easily. Newton's third law. For every action there is blank and blank blank blank. For every action there is an equal and opposite reaction. And that's it for today, guys, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you guys learned about Newton's 3 laws, and stay safe.